All right, everybody, this is the module that you are going to want to bookmark to make it as kind of like one of your checklists for what to do after you have everything set up and your product is launched. You followed all of the other modules about how to find your product, how to do your keyword research, how to optimize your listing, how to order it, how to get it to Amazon, how to launch it, how to set up your PPC. So now your product is launched. Or maybe you're an existing seller on Amazon and you're just going back and reviewing these modules. Well, you can actually implement some of these right away. Now, one of the problems that exist out there in the Amazon world is there's this mentality that Amazon is set it and forget it. I'm just going to throw my listings up and I can have a laptop lifestyle for the rest of my life. Absolutely not. All right. Amazon is hard work. Even after you launch, there's a lot of things that you need to keep doing. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about how Helium 10 is going to help you with a lot of those things. But if for whatever reason later you don't have Helium 10, this is still important. You got to figure out a way to do these things with or without Helium 10. So make sure, again, that you guys take some notes and bookmark this for when you launch your product. All right, let's hop into Helium 10 now. And one of the things, we've been talking about Helium 10 throughout Freedom Ticket. And an important thing is that you guys actually have what's called your token connected. All right, so the way that I can see my latest orders here on Helium 10 is because I actually have Helium 10 connected to my Seller Central account. And I can actually do that up here. If you guys haven't done so yet, you click on this and then you want to click on connections and you'll be able to follow the instructions on how to connect this to your Seller Central account. All right. Once you do that, the very first thing that you're going to have and want to set up is Profits. All right. You're going to want to activate Profits. This is our financial analytics software for Helium 10. And what it does is it lets you know, hey, are you making money or not? Now, we don't know what your cost of your products are, or what your shipping costs are, or all of that things. So as soon as you get your first product set up, go here to inventory levels, find your SKU, whichever one that you just had added, and then go in there and set your cost of goods sold. Like, for example, here's the coffin shelf, and we set here the price is, let's find it here, $4.47. And then the shipping per unit, what it takes to get from Amazon, what it takes to get from China all the way to Amazon or wherever your factory is about $3 per unit. All right, so you're going to want to set that up. Once you have that, we're going to go ahead and calculate what your profitability is per unit based on the other Amazon charges that they're charging you. This is our year to date on this account, but you can see here in the net profit, we're going in there and we're calculating what your Amazon fees are. And there's a lot of different Amazon fees, your per order fulfillment fee, your commission, your weight-based fee, your refunds, your PPC cost, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a great tool to be monitoring your profitability. And if your numbers start to dip, you got to figure out why. Do I have more returns? Is my PPC costing me too much? What is going on? How can I fix that? It all starts with connecting your Seller Central account to Helium 10, setting your cost of goods, and keeping a close eye on your profitability. What else should you start from day one that your product is up and running? Let me go ahead here to the operations side, and I'm going to go to alerts. All right, alerts is very important because there's a lot of things that could happen to your product listing. All right, again, I'm not trying to scare you guys, but there's things that can happen, like somebody could go in and change your image. Amazon could change the dimensions of your package erroneously. Maybe they could change your title. All of these things could either have an effect on your sales. Imagine if somebody out there changed your egg shelf picture to like a coffin shelf or something like that. Your sales are obviously probably going to go down if people are just looking for a regular egg shelf. So you need to know if these things happen, right? If Amazon changes the dimensions on your product, did you know that, it could end up being like a $1, $2 per unit difference. Like if you were on one of the borderlines as far as one of the size tiers, like, you're right on the borderline, you're a standard size product, but if you add like 2 inches to one side, all of a sudden now you're an oversized product on Amazon's standpoint. Well, if that happens, they will probably charge you dimensional weight. All right, what that means is even though your product weighs 5 pounds, they can charge you by the dimensional weight, meaning they might be charging you 8 or 9 pounds for it. Those 8 or 9 pounds, that difference right there between 5 and 8 or 9, that could be the difference of 1, 2, 3, or even more dollars per unit. Now think about that. Let's say you're selling 10 units a day and now you're paying just $2 more per unit. That means that every day you're spending $20 more than you should be on your shipping. That means you're losing $20 every day. Every week, that's $140. Over a year, that's over $7,000. Just because Amazon changed 1 or 2 inches, that's costing you a couple dollars more per unit. If you didn't know that and you're doing your accounting at the end of the year, you'd be like, what in the world is going on? Where did this $7,000 go? Well, it was because you didn't know that your dimensions changed. So with that in mind, this is what alerts is for. So you need to come into here as soon as you get your product up, find your product, and then turn this little toggle on. All of those things that I just mentioned, if something like that happens to your listing, like the dimensions change or your title changes or other things, we're going to send you a text message or send it to your mobile app or send you an email, whichever that you decide to activate. So this is a big help and can potentially save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Speaking of saving you money, now this is, I'm going to go fast forward a little bit here. This is not something you should do on day one. I'm going to go back to the day one things in a little bit, but since I just mentioned, saving you thousands of dollars, here's something that's important to know. Amazon sometimes might lose or damage some of your products, all right? It's inevitable. A forklift might run it over or might get lost in transit or whatever. And obviously Amazon is supposed to reimburse you for that. And guess what? Usually they do. Usually they reimburse you for the things that they lose or damage. But guess what? Sometimes they don't, all right? Clerical error, whatever the reason is, there are some times where Amazon actually owes you money, and you're never going to get that money unless you ask them. Well, that's where the tool Refund Genie comes in. What Refund Genie is going to do is we're going to run these reports from all the products that has been shown as lost or damaged. And then we're going to send you messages on the potential money that Amazon might owe you. This account is pretty good. Amazon doesn't owe me nothing but about $40 here. So I'm sure I could probably get at least 20 of that back. But I have seen accounts where somebody who runs it for the first time and they have tons and tons of SKUs, Amazon has owed them up to thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, that pretty much pays for Helium 10 for life. So don't do this right away. I doubt Amazon's going to lose or damage anything in the first, couple weeks of your listing, but make a reminder for yourself. In about 5 or 6 months, what I want you to do is come back here to this Refund Genie page and take a look. Does Amazon owe you money? You can download those reports right here and then submit it to Amazon and hopefully get a lot of your money back. All right. Let's go back now to the things that you need to be setting up on day one of launching your product. I want to talk about Keyword Tracker. One of my favorite tools. It's actually the tool that introduced me to Helium 10. I was looking for a keyword tracker and I hadn't heard of Helium 10, and somebody said, hey, why don't you check Helium 10 out? They have a cool keyword tracker. Well, why is keyword tracking important? You guys remember in the earlier modules, we talked about ranking and getting to page 1, right? Well, you don't start right on day 1 on page 1, right? If I'm launching a coffin egg tray and I want to rank for spooky decor, right? I'm not going to get on page 1 right away. As a matter of fact, I just launched this product about 3 days ago. And what am I doing? I'm trying to get on page 1 for different keywords like coffin shelf and maybe coffin egg tray. I'm not sure what exactly I'm putting money into, but what I just said is the key. I'm putting money into campaigns, PPC campaigns, search, find, buy campaigns to try and get to page 1. So if I'm paying money for something, don't you think I want to know, is it working? I know that maybe I started on page 6 or not even ranked at all. If I'm putting money into trying to get to page 1, it just makes sense. I want to know, is that money being put to good use? How would I know that? Well, I could, of course, just go to Amazon.com and type in whatever keyword I'm trying to rank for every day and then look where am I? I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there I am at 7. All right. Oh, here I am at 33. I mean, that's very, very tedious. Helium 10 does that all for you. So from day 1, guys, when you have your listing, you should have already known what are your main keywords for your listing, the ones that you want to get on page 1 for. So as soon as you launch your product, put it here in Keyword Tracker, get that list of keywords. You probably made PPC campaigns for them. They're probably your top 15 or 20 keywords, like I told you how to find in a previous model. Put those in here, and then you can start tracking how you're getting to page 1. Let me just see if there's any that we have gotten here. Oh, look at this one. This is one that I am doing a campaign on right here. I know it, Gothic Kitchen Decor. Now, when I started, I was not ranked at all. When I started advertising for this keyword, I was not ranked at all. But look what happened just in 1 or 2 days of my campaign that I'm paying money for. I got here to page 1, and I even at one point, a couple of days ago, got to page 1, position 1. So I know my money is being well spent here because my campaign was successful. I got to page 1. Did I have to go to Amazon and search Gothic Kitchen Decor and figure out where I am? No, I didn't have to do that. I just have to look at this chart and I can see what's going on hour by hour or day by day. So guys, again, day 1 of your listing going active, get Keyword Tracker active with your product. Add your top keywords here. And if you're wondering what this little red ship is, this is called Boost. That means it's checking every hour instead of once a day. All right. So that's another day 1 thing that you would want to start. Another one that you'd want to start is Market Tracker. You might even start this before your product is live. All right. So how do you set up Market Tracker? I would go here and create a new market. Let me just show you one I did for coffin shelves. All right. So here's coffin shelves. What I did was I said, hey, the main keywords for coffin shelf is coffin bookshelf, coffin shelf, Gothic decor, coffin shelves. And I wanted to go out there and see what are the top products in this niche. I added some ASINs. I added my own ASIN. That's what you have to do. If you haven't done this yet, on day 1 of your listing, put your own ASIN, put the ones you know are direct competition to you. All right. If you have a coffin shelf, don't put a coffin mirror here or a coffin toothbrush or something. Only do the ones who are direct competitors of you. And then what we do is once you've put the ASINs here, we're going to tell you the market volume. So based on all the ASINs that you put in, this is the estimated monthly sales, all right, that these products are generating. And then based on that, this is what your estimated market share is. So the market volume for this coffin shelf market is $61,000. My market share is 21%. Why is my market share 21%? Well, that's because my estimated monthly sales is $13,000. All right. And the cool thing about Market Tracker is it's not just going to track those that you specified. What it's going to do is it's going to start going out there and finding other similar products that maybe you missed and didn't even realize could be your competitor. Like here's one. Here's a deluxe goth coffin shelf. That's definitely a competitor of our coffin shelf. And I wasn't tracking it, as you can see here. So it's saying, hey, do you want to track this? And I would just say yes. All right. So Market Tracker is a great tool to use in order to track your market share in your niche. All right. What else do we have here that you need to set up right away? We already hit all of the ones right here in the Analytics tab, which was Keyword Tracker, Market Tracker, and Profits. We hit here in Operations, the Alerts, and the Refund Genie. In previous modules, I told you guys how to set up a follow-up and also the inventory management, which is very, very important to make sure that you don't run out of stock, all right? So these are the main tools that you need to get set up, but don't forget, also go back every now and then, like I would say every 3, 4, or 5 months, go in and take a look at Cerebro and take a look at the, keyword research for your listing and for your niche. Maybe some of your competitors have come up with some new keywords that you didn't realize were important. So you absolutely should not just, again, set it and forget it. You need to be in constant checking how you can improve your products and checking that you haven't been falling off. Don't forget that in any of these tools that we went over today, there's detailed videos on how to use it. Like I just kind of skimmed over it, but go into each of those tools, hit the learn button at the top of them, and that's going to give you detailed information on how to use it. Don't forget, guys, even if one day you leave Helium 10 for whatever reason, that doesn't mean you should stop tracking your keywords. You got to figure out another way to track your keywords. You got to figure out another way to check to make sure that Amazon is not overcharging you on the dimensions of your product. You've got to check another way to track your profitability. Make sure that you do all of these things with or without Helium 10. I hope you guys have enjoyed, this entire course. It's been a pleasure here, being a guest instructor here on a lot of these modules, along with some of those ones from Project X. Don't forget, guys, Serious Sellers Podcast. A lot of the instructors that you've had here on Freedom Ticket, including Kevin King himself, are frequent guests at least once a year on the Serious Sellers Podcast. And so we'll give you guys up-to-date information. Make sure to subscribe or follow the Serious Sellers Podcast on your Apple podcast app or on Spotify. And if you guys are ever watching one of these modules in Freedom Ticket, make sure to take a selfie. Take a selfie of yourself learning on Freedom Ticket. Be proud of yourself. Let people know what you're doing, and tag Helium 10. Helium 10 software on Instagram. You can go ahead and tag me too on my Instagram, H10Bradley. I would love to repost it. Helium 10 would love to repost it. We love to see you guys taking in this knowledge here in Freedom Ticket. We're almost at the end now. One more module that's going to be important, and then you guys will be ready to take your certification test. That's the one thing that definitely I want you guys to tag Helium 10 software and tag me on Instagram. Once you get and hopefully pass your Helium 10 certification through Freedom Ticket, make sure to take a selfie of that and tag us. We'd love to celebrate your success. We'll see you guys in the next to last module. Bye-bye.